Okay, so apparently Chauncey Billups has been working with the Mafia this whole time. Alright, so you probably heard the news already, but Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier have been arrested by the FBI today over suspicion of illegal gambling. However, I want to point out what Chauncey Billups has done, as he has been arrested for an illegal poker operation that has ties to Italian mafia. So this illegal poker scheme was used by the Italian mafia, especially the Gambino family, and they had Chauncey Billups as basically the decoy guy, basically the one running these poker games. And what was so illegal about these poker games was that they were using machines. They used an illegal shuffling deck machine which favored Billups and also former NBA player Damon Jones. And also, they had an X-ray poker table that could scan the cards that the other players were using. And now the defendants are coming out and speaking, which it's pretty crazy to think, as Chauncey Billups, he's the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers currently. They played last season, and take a look at this clip, what he said after the game.
I can and let the chips fall where they may. You know that about me by now, quick.
So yeah, that's pretty ironic after his probably last coaching game ever in the NBA, or probably ever. Speaking on the poker games, the losses of the poker games topped $7 million and counting. We are not sure about the amount of money, but for the ones that have been prosecuting, 7 million is crazy. Especially for Chauncey Billups, he looks like a trusted NBA player, but deep down, he's being run by the Mafia. Honestly, I feel like the Mafia was smart using Chauncey Billups, because they used him as basically the face to attract any high, people that would want to bet. As Chauncey Billups, he's a very known figure in basically the sports world and basically in the US. So like seeing that like an NBA player is basically running these poker games, you'd think nothing wrong, but the Mafia has some crazy ties, and now Chauncey Billups is now gonna be out of the league. The FBI is still investigating, so we won't know for sure, but looking at the evidence, as there's been pictures of the illegal poker table, how it works, as you could see, there's a picture that you could see the cards underneath, like an x-ray. It was an x-ray, so you could see the cards, and you can see what it looks like. And also, they show the inside of the shuffling deck machine. It's honestly crazy, as you wouldn't expect a random Thursday to be quite literally one of the craziest days in NBA history, especially after opening day. In my opinion, I don't understand why Chauncey Billups did this in the first place. I mean, he made $106 million in career earnings, and add on his coaching earnings, other sponsorships. He's probably netting around 200 to 250 million, and most likely the Mafia is probably paying him a portion of the winnings of the 7 million. So I'm saying like he'd probably make like a million from it, and I don't think it's worth it. As the Trailblazers, even though they lost yesterday, they have a really good roster. They have Damian Lillard, who's on injury, but also Shaedon Sharpe, Denny Avdia, Yang Hansen. They have a really good lineup, and now throwing it away is just crazy. Also, part of the illegal table and shuffling machine, Chauncey Billups was also using these glasses that could basically see the card, as I think the cards that they were using had some marks. And if Chauncey Billups used these types of glasses, as I'll show a video right here, they would basically show you what cards they are. And I think that's why he got away with it too, as they basically went full on through this. As also they were told that Chauncey Billups was winning so much that he had to stop winning, and that's pretty funny, as he needed to keep people playing, as sometimes he just sell on purpose. Some fans were also suspicious about this Portland Trailblazers game against the Orlando Magic last season, where Chauncey Billups only played Denny Avdia for 24 minutes, which is significantly less playing time than he usually got that year, as he only played 24 minutes. It was a 6-point game with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Chauncey Billups took out Denny Avdia and Shaden Sharp, and obviously the Magic won that game. So, he could be tied with this illegal gambling too. Honestly, this is just all crazy news, and I feel like these next 2 to 3 days we're gonna get more information. Maybe more players could be involved, as there have been 4 teams that the FBI director named out, which were the Trailblazers, Hornets, Lakers, and Raptors. As now, this is crazy. I knew that the NBA had a big gambling issue, especially after Jonte Porter and also TJ Warren, but I did not expect it to be like this. So we'll see what happens.